In the quiet town of Eldermoor, nestled deep in the woods, there was a forgotten place, an old hospital long abandoned. Locals whispered of shadows that moved in the windows, of soft cries that echoed at night. They called it the Hollow Ward, where patients from a bygone era had met unspeakable fates. One cold autumn evening, a young couple, Mark and Lila, dared to venture inside, armed with nothing but their phones and curiosity. They pushed open the creaking doors. The hospital smelled of damp decay, and the faint rustle of leaves played tricks on their senses. They wandered deeper, past empty rooms with broken beds, rusting tools, and shattered glass, and then they heard it, a soft shuffle, like someone dragging their feet down the hall. They froze, hearts pounded, but there was nothing there, nothing they could see. Ignoring the warning signs, they continued, down into the basement where the worst of the horrors were said to lie. As they descended the steps, the temperature plummeted, Mark's breath fogged in the air, and Lila could feel the chill biting her skin. Then, the door to the morgue creaked open on its own. They exchanged glances, fear clawing at their nerves, but Mark insisted they continue. Inside, the darkness seemed alive. Their phone lights flickered as though something unseen was interfering with the signal. Then, out of the corner of her eye, Lila saw it, a figure standing in the far corner. She blinked, and it was gone. A voice, barely audible but unmistakable, whispered her name, Lila. She turned to Mark, but he hadn't spoken. He was staring, wide-eyed, at the cold storage units, the ones that once held bodies. One of them was ajar. A hand, pale and bony, stretched out toward them. With a scream, they ran for the stairs. But as they reached the top, the door slammed shut, trapping them in the darkness. The air grew thick with dread, and the whispers grew louder. Something was down there with them, something that had been waiting for years. They pounded on the door, but it wouldn't budge. Mark tried to force it open, but it was no use. The walls began to creak, as if the very building were breathing, alive with the tortured souls that had never left. Then, silence, deafening silence. Lila turned around slowly, her heart hammering in her chest, only to see Mark standing completely still, his face pale, his eyes wide with terror. Behind him, emerging from the shadows, was a figure, tall, gaunt, with hollow eyes that glowed faintly in the darkness. The figure reached out and touched Mark's shoulder. A scream, then nothing. When Lila woke up, she was outside, alone. The hospital was gone. No doors, no windows, just an empty plot of land. The whispers were gone, but the silence was worse. No one believed her, no one could explain it, but every night since, as she lies in bed, she hears the faintest of whispers. Lila, the Hollow Ward never